We are Steve and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how inconsistency in sending mailers equals inconsistent income.
That's a mouthful.
Seems simple.
Say that 3 times fast.
It seems simple. I could easily do it and bore the heck out of everyone. It seems like
Saying
a simple
it 3
concept.
times fast?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a real, very, very simple concept, but it's hard. It's harder to do. We're finding from our members, and even with us once in a while in our land buying and selling effort, harder to do than it seems. You know why? Because you run into issues.
Well, I don't think it's hard. I think it's discipline.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. And this topic.
You know what? That's exactly right. Discipline's hard.
Oh, well, that's true.
That's really
well
said. It's exactly
who was the
what I
last person you disciplined? And please don't say me.
Jeez.
What was the last? Give me your last discipline moment.
I hate the concept of discipline. I
know.
always have.
Suck at it.
It's the thing about being a parent that I've never have gotten my head around it and never will.
I know. That's what someone said that once a long time ago, and I believe it to be true. The hardest thing about parenting is parenting. I would have easily been one of those parents that just went to bed at whatever time I was tired and let the kids just figure it out. They'll fall asleep when they're tired. No, we got to do bedtime. We got to get them in there. And that's a lot of work, and that's not what this show's about. But
it's
anyway,
a lot of stuff.
It kind of ties in.
It totally ties in.
This too, and I know we'll talk more about it.
We just recorded a show, actually, with a couple of guys, and it aired yesterday, or aired, I guess, by the time this airs last week. And we really ended up talking about this topic. It takes, the stuff that it takes to do well at anything in life is all the same. It's
true.
Discipline and a schedule and staying on the schedule and, we used to say stay motivated a lot. I don't think that comes up that much any longer because I think being motivated at this is pretty easy. I just think it's sticking to a schedule. It's all some version of that.
I hear you.
Why don't you stick to a schedule? Because stuff goes on.
That's true. I hear you.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of the members on one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Skylar wrote, "Hi, Jack and Jill. I found out about your live event the day before and I could not attend." Oh, did you? Must have saw my note here too. I've been, however, listening to your podcast every single day. Please, would you consider doing this live event again? I'm a beginner, by the way, and I would really like to do what Jack says in the podcast. And then this member is just killing it. That was your note?
This member is just killing it? No, they wrote that about themselves.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I wrote, it's funny you say this. I'm getting out my calendar right now so I can look it up. So I responded to the person and said yes. Because here's the whole deal. It's all about our live event. And
the reason
it's cool to get together. We have a good time.
The reason I included this question is because there's a bunch of strings in there where people are confused.
Oh, they're confused about my answer?
No. I'm hoping you can clarify what's actually going to happen this year.
Okay. That's what I was going to say. Traditionally, every October, the first week in October, we host a get-together here for Land Academy members, new and old, in the Los Angeles area. And this year, for obvious reasons, we can't do the get-together. The hotel's still not fully open. We don't know what we can do, what we can't do. And it's not a big mass event, too, by design. Like everything we do, we have a pretty tight community, so we keep it small. So anyway, I can't do it now. But so here's what I did do. I told everybody, please mark your calendar. Put this in Land Investors for sometime between the dates of March 4th through 7th. That's Thursday to Sunday, somewhere in there. I'm tentatively booking coming to Los Angeles, and this is 2021. So that's it. So 2021. March 4th through 7th would be our carryover live event number 3. And I already sent that out to my whole staff. I saw you accepted the invite. So that's the scoop.
Here's a source of the confusion in land investors. There's an old string that Jill, I don't know how this got in there, but Jill said, hey, welcome. Can't wait to join you. Please join us in October.
Oh.
That's what it says.
Okay, yeah. Because we were going to do it in October.
Right.
So
we're not having a live event in October.
Not this
October. You just threw a bunch of dates out. I want to be super clear about it.
Okay.
There is no 2020 October Land Academy live event.
Right.
It's been rescheduled to March.
Yep. March 2021.
So we're gonna have to go in there. I'll go in there and change it because it's causing all kinds of people to get excited and everything.
It's still. I thought I put it in there like yesterday or the day before. I didn't know that it was still not clear. So, all right.
Today's topic: inconsistency in sending mailers equals inconsistent income. This is the meat of the show. This topic came up because we interviewed one of our members a couple days ago. And he said, we interview successful members or any member. I'm like, what's the bottleneck? What's the issue? He said, I have trouble. In the beginning, I had trouble like having a mailer Monday. Every Monday I send out mailers. And he said, until I did that, that's when he was straight down the path to accomplishing what he wanted to accomplish. And in his case, it was quitting his job. And he did.
Mm-hmm. He's not alone. We have a lot of members that talk about this. So this is when you and I were thinking about topics for today, this was something that our staff had expressed to me as well, that a lot of members struggle with this. Well, they struggle with the inconsistent income. And the point of this is you have to take a step back and realize where it all starts. It starts with deal flow. That's it. This is deal flow. And if you turn on and turn off what you're doing, your bank account's going to go all over like that too. And you're not going to have stuff. So what you have to do is, and this is a Stephen thing, and he's right. Create systems and stick to it. I know, but then I'll help you too. We'll talk about it more. There's ways to make it easier on yourself. And it really starts with the mailers. Why? Because if you don't have the offers going out, you don't have the sellers calling you back. You don't have the deals to review. You don't have the deals to buy. So you don't have the deals to sell. That's what all goes back there. And what a lot of people do is they'll send one mailer out and then they'll just watch the whole process and they'll wait. And I can understand that maybe the first time, say you're brand new to this and you want to see how it's going to go. I could totally get it. You send out 2,000 offers. You want the phone calls come in. You're trying to gauge how many phone calls you can handle. I understand that. Okay, 2,000 offers means I'm going to be busy for, 4 or 5 days. My phone's going to blow up, whatever it is. Then it's going to then it's going to, go into, be, down to this level. I can manage it. And that helps you too. You can go, all right, I could have done more this time. I could have doubled that, whatever it is, whatever you think. Or I need to hire more staff so I can handle that or get help with the phones, even at 2,000. But by doing that, so you've got so you're gauging it, you want to have 20, 30 offers to review from that mailer. That's a good gauge that come back, and then you're going to buy, 2, 3, 5, whatever makes sense to you. So a lot of people do that, and they're sell them, and then they're all of a sudden now they're sold, and 90 days went by through the whole process. By the time you bought it, posted it for sale, sold it, and now you're staring at yourself going, oh, okay, great. Now I have more money in the bank. I got to do it all over again. And they just do it. It's almost like, every 90 days or 60 days, they keep repeating the same thing. And it's hard to manage your life like that. So what the point for me of the show is, get it into a system. Maybe it's every other week mail goes out. Maybe it's every week for you mail goes out. Whatever it is. And then you can make your life easier with this too by doing it in chunks. So one of the things for us is it's hard to sit down and pick a county every Sunday. Do you want to spend every Sunday picking a county, and doing all that? No, I don't. Do you?
No.
Okay, thank you. So once you do that, pick several counties. You can only do this maybe one Sunday a month you spend on it, or Monday a month. I don't know what it is for you. Once a month, you're doing it all, maybe even once every 2 months, because you're doing it that much volume. You could do that and scrub it all down, get it priced, get it ready, so then it's just ready to go out in a smooth, consistent way. And then you put it on the calendar when you're going to do it again.
So there's a bigger issue here. and it's twofold. And this is a fantastic example, working example of either you're listening or watching to this, of why you should have a business partner. Because what Jill just described is operations. The operations of the day-to-day operations of organization, sending mail out, choosing accounting, getting it into a system with consistency, which is in the title today. But here's the bigger picture. That's not what I do. I'm not the operations person. I'm the person who kind of put all this stuff in place, make sure that there's enough money, make sure that we have a podcast so we can attract investors. And here's how, on this topic, that manifests itself. When I started this company a long time ago, I made a huge commission, a real estate commission on a large portfolio of long-term care facilities. I took a portion of that. I'm just going to call it $100,000, but it doesn't matter what the real numbers are. And I put it into a bank account, and I started an LLC. And that LLC had $100,000 in it, and I started to draw a salary. So here's where the confusion is. And here's why I think a lot of new people, it's like their income goes up, and then it goes down, up, down. That's hard to swallow for anybody.
That's true.
Throw some money into a bank, maybe you and your partner do, draw a tiny little salary, enough to live on. Back then for me, it was like $25,000 or some crazy number like that. Now
for your annual salary.
Yeah, for
not
your
a month.
Annual salary. Now you're paying your rent. You're paying your rent. You're buying your ramen noodles, and you're off to the races. And now you got this other income to buy and sell real estate with. And as deals happen, money goes out, money comes in. Money goes out, money comes in. Theoretically, if you do stuff right, 6 to 8 to 10 months later, 12 months later, you should have a heck of a lot more money in there than you put in. Especially in this business, it's not hard at all. So what does that hedge on? I had this discussion in a bar about 5 years ago. This exact discussion. We were watching this golf tournament, and
was it with me?
No.
Oh.
It was somebody who was a lot younger than me, but very intelligent from a business standpoint. And they said this golfer just won $20 million. Can you imagine winning $20 million? And I just chuckled and said, look, it doesn't work that way. Same thing with actors. They get $20 million to do a movie. It all goes into a company, and there's an office somewhere where there's a lot of people working there, just like our office.
Right.
And they're drawing a salary. And so that was just one little line of revenue for them that day. Great. They got a big check for $20 million. I bet it doesn't compare to what Nike was paying that guy. So, or KPMG in his case, the winner. So that's really what this is all about. It's about consistency. Who likes stuff that's inconsistent? No one. Everybody wants consistency. Consistency of revenue. So this becomes a business structure thing for me. So I hope that if you're new at this, I'm trying to remove the risk that people see. We have a lot of new people right now. That's Jill and I, for some reason, I think it's post-COVID. Do you see that too? Like, just for whatever reason, there's a bunch of new people that are signing up.
Yeah, I love it.
And a lot of people that aren't members but have shown an interest in this business model, whether it's land or houses. So I'm trying to peel away the layers of mystery too, because I don't see this as mysterious or risky.
It's true.
Do you?
No, not at all. No.
But these are good questions.
No.
So from an operations standpoint, you have to be what Jill said.
Right.
Send out consistent mailers to get consistent income, but do yourself a favor: put some money into a bank account and draw a tiny little salary and make sure you can live off of it. And it takes the stress out of it.
That's true.
Then
that's really good.
Get some freaking mailers in there.
Yeah, and don't stop. That's my thing. Get it going and don't stop and force yourself. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Do you think this is one of those things that's easier said than done?
I have to think about that for a second. I mean, if I have to think about it, then probably yes. It's discipline. I don't know why we have a hard time with that.
It's disappointing?
That too.
It's what?
Disappointing. You know what? Yes. Discipline is disappointing.
Oh, discipline.
Yes, it is. You know why? It's disciplining yourself. That's hard. It is hard. I have trouble with that. Heck yes. I mean, do you have trouble with that?
No.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think.
Do you enjoy it?
When I don't mean discipline with a paddle. I mean discipline. I call it just organization. I wouldn't call it discipline. I don't have problems being organized at all. Yeah, I think that somebody told me this a long time ago about organization, because that's really what this is all about.
Okay.
If you schedule to do a mailer, to do the data part of a mailer between 9 o'clock in the morning and 12 o'clock and 12 noon. And it didn't go the way that you wanted it to. Nothing ever goes the way you want it to.
True.
Or
life.
I'll tell you what, like, we've been doing this show for 5 years. This is one of the few things that Jill and I do where it just works out pretty easy. It's like clockwork. But, right now I'm going through a mailer, and Jill handpicked a few counties for me to and I'm having a lot of trouble with it. So, and we'll get it done. We'll get it done on time. If you start at 9 and on Monday and you have till 12 and it's not done, here's the mistake I see everybody make.
It's good.
12 becomes 1, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, and all the stuff that you scheduled between 12 and 5 o'clock that day is just obliterated.
Yeah.
So what you need to do, and somebody told me this a long time ago, it obviously stuck with me, if it's 12 to noon to do mailers, stop at noon if it's not done, and move it to the next day, and move some other stuff around, and get the stuff done between noon and 5 o'clock that you have regularly scheduled. It's called block something. I don't know. Blocks of time. And I really think that's going to help you get mailers out with consistency and get the other stuff done that you need to get done. Otherwise, it just becomes this bleeding into days and days of stuff, and then nothing gets done.
I know, and then you're frustrated.
Yeah.
That's what happens to me. So here's what happens to me. This is truth time. Today's part of the show is truth time. Yeah,
we should have truth
great.
time.
That's great, Steve and Jill. Now we want to go what really goes on. We heard the stupid show. Now what really goes on?
Truth time.
Truth time. Okay. I am way more of a free spirit.
Yeah.
And even more than I can handle sometimes. It's like, I'm like, what's going on? Because now I'm not getting anything done. So, like you just described, things get moved around. Oh, sure, we'll do it this day, and now we'll do it this way. And then what happens then, I get so frustrated, I snap. And then it's like, what just happened? So
This is truth time.
This is truth time. I'm trying to save you. Don't snap like I do, because you're like, and you're mad at yourself. That's the only one you can be mad at, because it was you who let Mailer Monday become, I guess this is what I'm doing Saturday night. And then
That's
you're really
right.
pissed.
That's right. And then, nothing gets done.
Oh,
so
yeah.
not
And
only
you're like,
are you delayed in the mailer. See, here's the thing. If you have Mailer Monday, and let's say it's 2,000, Jill's exactly right. Mm-hmm. It's 2,000 units. Okay, great. Some stuff happened with pricing, or maybe the macro failed that you designed. These are actually two things that are exactly happening to me right now. The macro that I originally designed is not working in Excel. It's slowing me down, and the counties that Jill threw at me this is strange price, the strangest pricing I've ever seen. I've just not, and so will I get through it? Yeah. Will I fix it? Yeah. So that block on Monday didn't work. I went to do my regular stuff the rest of the day, and I moved it to Tuesday, and it still didn't work. And I moved the block to Wednesday, but all the while I'm getting this other stuff done. The world, my financial world's not falling apart. So, and I'm supposed to do 2,000 mailers on Monday. Well, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to do 4,000 the next Monday, and we're going to make up for it that way. So it's not tragedy. The sky's not falling. All the other stuff that I'm supposed to get done in my life, like this podcast. If you're a regular listener on this podcast, we never miss it. Never. And that's because it's blocked in this time frame. And if sometimes we do miss the Thursday recording, we'll move it to Friday in the same slot. So there's solutions to all of this stuff. There's non-emotional, oh shoot, I just whatever, I missed it, stuff happened, I'm moving to the block over, all right, on to the next thing. And so Jill's right, you won't snap if you do it that way.
Well, truth time. Don't beat yourself up.
Exactly.
Because you know what? Here's what's going to happen. I'll tell you right now. And
Exactly.
you can't give me 4,000 because then I'm not ready for it. So we did kind of lose a week. We're going to catch up though. We'll fix it. So, and my whole point is, if you do miss a week, it's not the end of the world. If you miss 1 out of 52, it's not the end of the world.
Exactly.
If you miss 50 out of 52, now we have a problem.
Or if you miss it, and this is what I see more often than not, and when I was a young professional a lot of years ago, this is what would happen to me. It wouldn't work. I see young people, I don't think it's generation specific, I just see this happen to young people all the time. 12 o'clock came, and the lit mailer, there's some stuff didn't go the way it should have. I'm not doing it then, forget it. I suck at this.
Yeah,
I suck at business. I suck at mailers. I suck at Land Academy. This is awful, and you just you throw
You know,
it in, throw in the towel.
that's sad. And I'd rather, you know what I'd rather see? I'd rather say this is the best I can do. Noon's up. I'm pretty sure I got it. I would just say go with it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you?
In my earlier career, I have done that.
Yeah.
And if you work for somebody else, you got to do that. If you
Yeah.
talk to any artists, especially like in Hollywood and filmmaking and stuff, you know what they say? The only reason we released that film when we did is because there was a deadline, because I really could have used 2 more months to finish it.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the difference?
No.
No one knows the difference.
Exactly. That's good. I like that. Happy you could join us today. Every day, Monday through Friday, you can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is called Recessions Weed Out Unnecessary Businesses. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. You always seem shocked by my titles. Are you shocked by this one?
Sometimes, because what's funny is I know what we sit down and think about what they're going to be, and then you change them as you should.
Yeah.
That's your thing. And then you change them and put them in a way that I forgot what the original topic was.
Well,
I'm like, what? That's, again, truth time. This is our new thing today. It's all truth time. Truth time, I'm like, what the heck is that about? And you're like, don't you remember you said XYZ? I'm like, oh, now I see it.
So let's put yourself in the listener's shoes. What do you think this is about tomorrow?
Recessions weed out unnecessary businesses. Well, you kind of told me. So
okay.
Well, okay. Recessions mean then if I'm the listener and I really have no idea, I'd be like going, crap. I hope I'm one of the ones that make the cut.
Oh.
Yeah. Shoot,
if you,
right?
If you
It's
read
a
any
recessions, and my business might not be necessary because there's enough land people to go around. What if I'm not good enough?
Wow.
Why it could be, but that's not what it is. Don't worry. I promise. I promise. By the way, thank you for tuning in. We hope that you find our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please check out our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button.
I wonder how many people on these intros and extras just fast forward. Yeah, I know what they're going to say.
I don't know. Try it.
And your comments and suggestions help us create the type of content that you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows. And you know me, I'm all about the data, so please contribute.
We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration
to buy undervalued property.